From the outside, Selena Gomez had everything. Sold-out tours, platinum records, millions of people who knew her name before she walked into a room. But there were mornings she couldn't lift her body off the mattress. Not metaphorically, literally. This is the story of Lupus, a kidney transplant, and a depression that nearly swallowed her whole. We're going to walk through the science of what was happening inside her body and the three-step framework that brought her back. Regulate, repair, rebuild. Picture the bed, soft sheets, a room she could afford 100 times over, and a body that felt like it had been poured in concrete overnight. Her joints ached in a way that didn't match her age. Her fingers were stiff, her knees throbbed, even her jaw felt heavy. There was a fog over her mind, the kind where you can hear someone speaking and still not understand the words. The bed wasn't comfort. The bed was the place she got stuck. Day after day, the ceiling above her became more familiar than her own reflection. She has spoken about this publicly in her own voice. Here's how she described it.
I think about my lupus, it's something that I'll forever have. It affected every part of me, and now it's in remission, and I'm very grateful, but doesn't mean, it's not gonna.
What Selena was describing has a name. Lupus. An autoimmune disease where the body, for reasons we still don't fully understand, mistakes itself for an enemy. Her immune system, the same one designed to protect her, began attacking her own tissue, her joints, her kidneys, sometimes even the lining of her brain. When that happens, the body floods itself with chemical messengers called cytokines. Cytokines are useful in small doses. In large ones, they cause chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation causes a kind of exhaustion that lives in your bones. So when people said, "Just get up," they didn't understand. Biologically, she couldn't. Her body was at war with itself. And there's another piece. Depression and autoimmune disease feed each other. Inflammation worsens mood. Low mood worsens inflammation. It's a loop. And Selena was caught inside it. The first step of recovery wasn't running. It wasn't a green smoothie. It was something quieter. Regulate. Calm the immune storm. Calm the nervous system. Give the body a reason to stop fighting itself. For Selena, that meant medication. Immunosuppressants to lower the attack. It meant sleep, taken seriously like a prescription. It meant stillness, which for someone whose entire life had been motion, was its own kind of therapy. She started actual therapy. She started learning her own breath. She learned that lying down wasn't laziness. It was sometimes treatment. And she started telling the truth about how she felt. Around this time, in one of her songs, she sang a single line that captured all of it.
It's hard to talk and feel heard when you always feel like a burden. Don't wanna add to concern, I know they already.
That line, that's what regulating actually sounds like. Not a fix, an admission. And admissions are where healing begins. The second step was harder. Repair. Her kidneys were failing. Lupus had attacked them so aggressively that medication alone couldn't save them. She needed a transplant. Her best friend, Francia Raisa, was a match. Francia gave her a kidney. Let that sit for a moment. A friend opened her own body so Selena could keep living. The surgery was not clean. There were complications. Francia's new artery flipped inside Selena's body, and surgeons had to build a new one from a vein in her leg. Both women nearly didn't make it, but they did. And what followed was the slow, unglamorous work of repair. Healing scars, rebuilding strength, relearning how to walk a flight of stairs without sitting down halfway. And alongside the body, the mind. Therapy. Treatment for bipolar disorder once she finally received the diagnosis. The third step is the one most people skip. Rebuild. Not your body, your purpose. The reason you get out of the bed in the first place. Selena built Rare Beauty. A makeup company, yes, but underneath it, a quiet argument that being rare and being broken are not the same thing. She launched the Rare Impact Fund, pouring money into mental health services for young people who couldn't afford them. She spoke publicly about lupus, about depression, about her diagnosis, in a culture that punishes women for any of those things. Today she lives in remission. The disease hasn't disappeared. She still has hard mornings, but she lives with it now. Not under it. Go back to the bed. Same room, same sheets. But now there's light coming through the curtains and she's the one who opened them. Her body is still her body. Her story is still her story. But she gets to write the next page. And that, in the end, is what recovery looks like.